cared for the land and water in order that we might be here today. We're also grateful to the Algonquin people for their contribution in the making of the Rideau Canal, which runs through Smith Falls. We're mindful of broken covenants and the need to reconcile with all our relations. Together, may we care for this land and each other, drawing on the strength of our mutual history of nation building through peace and friendship, being mindful of generations to come. I'll call the meeting to order at 5 p.m. and just want to acknowledge to our American friends and neighbors and relatives their 4th of July and wish them all the best today. I'll be seeking a motion to approve the agenda. Moved by Councillor Brennan, seconded by Councillor Miller. Any amendments to the agenda? All in favor? That motion's carried. Thank you. Any disclosure of pecuniary interest or conflict of interest or general nature thereof? Seeing none. We have no minutes to approve. There's no delegations, no director's reports. We're going to move into a closed session, and sorry for those in attendance. Hopefully it won't take too long. We're going in camera. We're going to try this out, our new room at the back. So I have a motion that Council of the Corporation of the Town of Smith Falls, as provided in section 239 of the Municipal Act as amended, move to a closed meeting at 5:03 p.m. to discuss advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege. Moved by Councillor Robinson, seconded by Councillor McGuire. All in favor? As I say, I hope we're not too long. We're going to go into our secret meeting room behind you, and we'll be back momentarily.
whenever you're ready.
Welcome back. We've provided staff some advice on the subject to solicitor-client privilege. Councillor Miller.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, when I learned of the nature of the in-camera session tonight, I discovered that I would have a potential conflict due to a personal connection to the issue. So I removed myself from the room.
Thank you. Duly noted in the minutes.
Thank you.
There are no committee or board reports. No notice of motions that I'm aware of. Adjournment. Moved by Councillor McGuire, second by Councillor Robinson, that the committee adjourn its proceedings at 5:31 and stands so adjourned to the next duly called committee meeting. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you.
For 3 years. Welcome. We're transitioning into our regular meeting of council for Tuesday, July 4th. On July 4th, 2023, we acknowledge that the sacred land in which Smith Falls is now located has been a site of human activity for over 10,000 years and has rich in Indigenous history. This land is the ancestral and unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe Nation. We are grateful to the Algonquin ancestors who cared for the land and water in order that we might meet here today. We're also grateful to the Algonquin people for their contribution in the making of the Rideau Canal, which runs through Smith Falls. We're mindful of broken covenants and the need to reconcile with all our relations. Together, may we care for this land and each other, drawing on the strength of our mutual history of nation building through peace and friendship, being mindful of generations to come. I will call the meeting to order at 5:33 p.m. Ask for any amendments to the agenda or approval of the agenda with Councillor Brennan, please.
Thank you. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Robinson, that July 4th, 2024 council meeting agenda be approved as circulated.
All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Ask for disclosure of pecuniary interest and or conflict of interest and general nature thereof. Seeing none. Ask for approval of the minutes. Councillor Quinn.
Thank you, Your Worship. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Robinson, that the minutes of June the 19th, 2023 council meeting be approved as circulated.
Thank you. All in favor? It also was carried. Thank you. Reports and updates. I'll start to my left. Councillor McGuire, any reports today?
Sure. The Municipal Heritage Committee met last week in the chambers. I think it might have been the first in-person committee meeting. It was a full agenda. We've got, we were informed that the any progress or any work towards the Heritage Conservation District RFP won't start until the strategic plan process is completed and approved by council. So it definitely puts some motivation, I guess, to get that document signed, because there's probably other things that are being held up from that. That being said, the committee's enthusiastically awaiting the engineer's report for the water treatment plant, and there's some various other things that came up, but mostly just kind of discussion of that back in person side of things. So everybody was very happy, and some of us meeting for the first time in person. So it was a good meeting.
Thank you. Councillor Robinson?
None for me.
Councillor McKenna? Councillor Miller? Councillor Quinn?
Just brief. The REAL had their AGM meeting. We were very pleased to have Stephanie Clark, our new Director of Community Services, as the guest speaker. Even though she was in Scotland, it was quite interesting to have her there. Some of the things that came out of the meeting was that they're in need of more sales. And so they're doing a few things there where they're going to have sale days or certain items on discounts, trying to draw people in and they feel like they need better signage so that people understand what the real is, what you can buy in there. And one of the other things that's going on is there's a wetland awareness tour through the Swale. And the date for that is July the 22nd. And you can contact Rideau Experience at ridoroundtable.ca or call 613-327-9018. And this is usually something that is $45, but they're asking for a donation. They just want to get people out so people can understand what the Swale is all about. So please think about going to that. It sounds fun. I've just got myself registered to be there. And just briefly, we had a great Canada Day. It was nice to see people out. And when I left Lower Reach Park here in Smith Falls, I went to Montague for their Canada Day, but I had a purpose, a real purpose in mind, and that was to check out this swing that's for wheelchairs, wheelchair accessibility. They haven't got it yet. They had a problem with it. So it should be in within the next couple of weeks. And I'll go out and get a picture so we can all see what it's like and maybe find a spot here in Smith Falls. Those are my reports. Thank you.
Super, thank you. Councillor Brennan?
No, but I'll have an announcement after.
Okay, thank you. A couple of things myself. The town wants to take a moment and remember Donna Lamming. Donna, wife of former fire captain Rick Lamming. Rick retired about 10 years ago. She passed away on June 21st. So our sympathies to Rick, their children, Angela, Ashley, and Eric. Celebration of Life will be this Saturday from 11 to 2 at Trinity United Church. And we all know our fire service members don't work in isolation. Their families are a big part of their contribution and commitment to the community, and we appreciate Donna being there for Rick for all his years of service with the town. And we want to recognize Jake McMillan. We'll all recall 2 weeks ago, Jake was here. He'd had some outstanding success in the world of darts, and we knew at the time he was competing at the Canadian Championships on June 26. Team Ontario came out on top, and we have a little video here to show about, I guess, the end of Jake's competition. So I think I circulated this to everyone via email. You can play without sound, and it'll be shown on the screens here in a moment.
Yeah.
Council wanted to come down here, Mayor Panko, to actually watch it. They could, because I don't know.
Yeah.
If you, you can see it on your phones. Okay.
To break and throw for the national title.
Oh, he's splitting it up. What did he?
Opts to split rather than going right at the double 15, and it's a good decision. Great shot from Jake. Now holding throw. You've got to know that his confidence is high at this point.
Oh, he broke Larry's throw. That was Larry's throw, so Jake's coming in now. He can win this title with this last leg. Larry's not giving up with the triple.
And finishes it off with the 1080, third of this match. What a great shot from Larry under the pressure, showing that he is every bit as capable as any player in Canada right now. And Jake only responding with the 62 triple-less visits after Larry puts in the 180. Larry now with two singles. 60. Only a 60 himself. That gives Jake a little bit more time. He's definitely wanted to catch a triple on that visit. Jake with one. Can he get another? And there it is.
140 for Jake. He really needed that to bring himself up.
He did, didn't he, Sandra?
He really did. Looks like two singles right now for Larry. He's really got to find a triple.
Needs the triple for to get to a finish. Option 17 to leave the 170, but ultimately catches the single. Jake now, into the triple. He's going to get himself to the finish first, an opportunity to win this leg, and that is a monster shot.
Monster shot, leaving him with 102 now. He is in a finishing position with 4.
Larry with one. Larry still with one. and on a 104. So both of these gentlemen sitting on a reasonable finish. Jake, 82 remaining, misses the triple 14. That's going to give Larry another opportunity at a 104 finish. 46. And with that setup, although it wasn't the darts that Jake wanted, there's a lot of pressure on Larry now. Needs the triple 18 to leave 32. And he doesn't have it. That means Jake McMillan's going to come to the line on 56, a single to double combo with an opportunity to become the Canadian national champion.
There's the single. Here he comes. He just needs that double top. Taking a pause. Stepping back. Coming in again.
And there it is. Jake McMillan is your 2023 Canadian National Men's Singles Champion. A riveting final that's got to be bitter like a turnip for Larry. But ultimately, that is a monster finish. Jake took his opportunity when it presented itself to break Larry and then able to control the match from there. What a fantastic final for the two Ontario boys.
Absolutely. A new one for Larry, and just another continuation on Jake McMillan's run right now. He's just on fire. He's been shooting out.
So we have a national darts champion in our community, Jake McMillan. So congratulations, Jake. Awesome performance, and he'll be competing at the WF World Cup in Denmark in September.
Lovely.
So well done, Jake. A few reports myself, with some other members of council. Of course, I attended the June 21st Citizen of the Year banquet. We were excited to see Kathy Botham award our 2022 Citizen of the Year, the Dr. T.O. Ashwell Memorial Award. And congrats to all nominees, Christine Fair, Barb Hicks, Brianna Normando, of course, Kathy, and Bud and Gloria Fawcett. So all major contributors into our community, and it was a wonderful event that evening. June 22nd, as a member of the board of directors of the RVCA, I attended the RVCA watershed tour at Foley Mountain, and it was a great experience for members of the board and the RVCA Foundation to really get the hands-on experience of what it's like to take tours within the watershed experiences, and of course, Rita Foley Mountain. A great opportunity. I think it's over 800 acres of land they have there now, an ecosystem within itself. And if you're ever looking for something to do on a weekend or a quiet time, the trails are beautiful, the water is beautiful. Still a few ticks around. I picked up one tick before I come home, but just make sure you always check yourself if you leave the bush. June 23rd, I participated in the groundbreaking for the new MRI at Smith Falls and Perth and Smith Falls District Hospital, and just really exciting to see that project moving ahead. It's going to be a big ask from the community, about $6.2 million in fundraising required. Announcements that day brought them about a quarter of the way there. There's $1 million donation as well as other donations, which have given them a great head start. They're about $1.5 million towards that goal. June 23rd to 25th, many of us participated or attended RibFest, and it was great to see a great event happening at Lower Reach Park, put on by the Chamber of Commerce, so a great job. I attended on June 27th the hospital board meeting and the annual AGM for the hospital board. Nothing particular report there. On the 29th, I attended the police service board meeting. A few comments from that. During the month of May, this is the deputy chief's report. There's 769 calls for service, including the uniform patrol dealt with 23 collisions, 31 complaints, 76 vehicles stopped. Number of stops that led to charges was 32. 43 highway traffic charges over the month of May. There was four failed to remain at the scene of an accident, 2 impaired operations, 2 dangerous operations of a motor vehicle, 1 flight from police, 1 refusal to provide a breath sample, and 1 exceed 80, 1 resisting arrest. I think those are all probably connected. The step target for the month of May was aggressive driving. 21 charges were laid. The step for June is vehicle and equipment safety. We had 20 hours of foot patrol, 19 hours of bike patrol, 25 hours of community service, 10 hours of school visits. There were unfortunately 7 assaults, 2 break and enters, 12 bail violations, sadly 18 intimate partner violence calls, 56 mental health related calls, only a 4% apprehension rate, and 34-minute average wait time at hospital. We see those numbers continue to improve. A few years ago, that number would have been a much higher apprehension rate and probably 2.5 hour average wait at the hospital. So the programs put in place with the mental health crisis team has certainly been a major help towards that. The criminal investigation branch in CISO, we're working full time with the OPP on the missing person file, conducting drug investigations. Of course, they fire at the all water treatment plant. FinTrack training, they attend the police funeral, association meetings, use of force training. And our community service officer, Sean Keoghan, has been very busy. If you're at the events of previous weekends, he's been busy out there leading the bike parade on Canada Day. Also involved with lockdown drills at area schools, fraud prevention at SFTCI, internet safety, bullying and harassment presentation at St. Francis, theft presentation, case conference regarding student intimate images, Chima school visit, distributing hate crime brochures. I did the same at Duncan J. Schooler, meetings with the situation table, anti-hoarding, justice meeting for youth, Crime Stoppers meeting, the M-Search team meeting, youth at risk, an interview on your TV, Henley Hall Health Services lunch, food bank visit, McHappy Day, attended police officer funeral, child and youth collaborative meeting, Crime Stoppers meeting. So very busy month. This is the month of May for a community service officer. And police service board agreed we will move back to in-person meetings in our new council chambers later in July. And first, all of us were at Canada Day as well. We had a great celebration of Canada Day, and certainly thanks to our staff from the Heritage House Museum and Economic Development team putting on a wonderful Canada Day celebration. Moving on, there's no presentations, no proclamations today. We have our consent agenda. Consent report 002-2023 is distributed by the clerk and attached to the agenda. Madam Clerk.
If I could have a seconder, I've got moved by Councillor Robinson, seconded by Councillor Brennan, that items in consent report number 002-2023 received from the clerk be received and adopted.
Thank you. Anyone like any item separated? Seeing none, we'll proceed to read the three items. Firstly, bylaw authorizing the mayor and clerk to execute a funding agreement providing the terms and conditions of the release of funds for 25 Beck Street North, French Ink Studios for $10,000. Pardon?
That's last week.
Oh, my apologies.
One item this evening.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I don't know how that happened. War contract 23-PW-007, milling of asphalt, grading, hot mix, and miscellaneous concrete and rehabilitation. Council of the Corporation of Town of Smiths Falls passed a bylaw to award contract 23-PW-007 for milling of asphalt, grading, hot mix paving, and miscellaneous concrete rehabilitation to Thomas Kavanagh Construction Limited, and authorize execution of a contract agreement with Thomas Kavanagh Construction Limited for the amount of $869,595.45. All in favor? That's carried. And that concludes our formal business. And inquiries and announcements, I believe. Next, we'll get used to this new agenda. Yes, inquiries or announcements. Councillor Brennan.
Yeah, thanks. And I'll just add that the community police officer is going to be visiting our Rotary Club tomorrow morning. So he is a busy guy. And I also wanted to give a shout out to the Heritage House and the staff for last week, and to thank Councillor Robinson for taking one for the team at the dunk tank on Canada Day. So he did a great job, and you can keep on doing that. I just wanted to, with the Heritage House, just wanted to update what's happening. There's a lot happening, and summer camps are starting. Beginning on Monday, July 17th to Friday, July 21st. And the second week is in August. However, that August camps are full, but I understand there's a few spaces in July. So that's between the 17th and the 21st. And so if you'd like to get your kids into that, it's call Sienna at 283-6311. Also, they are continuing to run their monthly trivia nights in conjunction with 4 Degrees Brewery. So the next one is Friday, July 14th. And after that, July 28th. Tables are $25. And again, call Sienna at 283-6311 to register a team. The the Heritage House is also participating in Doors Open, and it's through the Kingston and Area Association of Museums. So that's going to be on July 22nd between 10 and 4 with activities including demonstrations, the brick bake oven. Maybe they'll be doing some pizza, guided and self-guided indoor and outdoor tours. So that is on July 22nd. And of course, the season of Movies Under the Stars opens this Thursday at Centennial Park. And the first movie is Super Mario Brothers, beginning at dusk, I believe. And the entertainment, I am told, is Ray's Reptiles. So I wanted to mention the community sponsors because they've really helped out. It's not cheap to run these movies, as you will know. So I'll just mention them: Gemmell's Garden Center, Optimum Health, Chiropractic, Massage and Fitness, Lanark County, World Page Advantage Real Estate, On Track, Blue Door Spa, Remax Affiliates Limited, Brokerage, Tim Hortons, and Andress, your independent grocer. So that's going to run weekly through August 17th, weather permitting. And that's this Thursday, and Super Mario Brothers are playing. It's going to be a nice day, so just bring your bug spray. That's it.
Thank you. Any further announcements? Seeing none, we have our confirmatory bylaw.
Want to do trivia now? Or do you want to do it
Oh,
at the
yes,
end?
you got trivia?
Well, I think it was
Yes, who's?
me.
I have one
volunteered?
if you have. Do you have
I wrote, somehow it showed up in my book that it was me, but if you're ready,
We can both do one.
sure.
Okay.
Okay,
Me first?
sure.
This just popped up in my today, and I know that you always have a good trivia, but anyway, and it's Heritage House related because they had done a display on RCA, and they did one I think a week ago on the Beatles because RCA, pressed all the Beatles records, including Elvis and Diana Ross, Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin and all that. So they do have a special artifact there, and it's on display right now. And the artifact is the mascot for RCA Victor. Do you know the mascot's name? You can go and see him.
Rex.
Nope.
No. Victor.
He's like
That's a good guess.
it's a dog. It's like a Don Cherry's dog, but his name is Nipper. Nipper.
Yep.
So Nipper's on display at Heritage House.
Never would have guessed.
So,
Okay,
sorry, Councillor McKenna.
thank you.
No,
Councilor McKenna, you're up next.
just a lot of our trivia, your worship, is always looking back. So this is looking ahead. There's 2 events for Smiths Falls, one in 2024 and one in 2025. And I just wondered if council, the first one will be a little obscure, but I think
2020.
Old Home Week.
Old Home Week 2025, every 25 years, so that's coming up.
Yeah, 2024.
It's the 30th anniversary
19.
of the publishing of the history of Smiths Falls
Oh.
in that book. A lot of history has taken place in the last 30 years, and as historians know, history takes place every day. And I would hope that we would consider updating that past 30 years for 2024. But it's Smiths Falls has seen tremendous change over the last 30 years. Phenomenal loss of buildings and industry and new industry. You could write a book. So I'm hoping that at some point we'll consider doing that.
Great point. And Mr. Lockwood's book is something we always refer to on a very regular basis.
And he's still with us, so
Would you consider writing a second chapter, second edition?
I don't know.
I guess we'll have to find out. Mr. Lockwood, if you're listening, we're happy to help. Okay, any further announcements? No, I'll move into the confirmatory bylaw. Moved by Councillor McGuire. I need a seconder. Councillor Robinson. The bylaw from the proceedings of council at its meetings on the 5th and 19th days of June be received a first time and taken as read a second time. All in favor? That is carried. And then also, it's first and second reading, sorry, and the third reading. I'm still trying to get my way through this. Moved by Councillor McGuire, seconded by Councillor Robinson, a bylaw to return the proceedings of council at its meetings on the 5th and 19th days of June be now at a third time and finally pass signed sealed and numbered 10462-2023. All in favor? And that is carried. And we are motion for adjournment. Moved by Councillor Miller, seconded by Councillor McGuire. As council adjourns proceedings at 5:56 p.m. Stands will adjourn until the next duly called meeting of council. All in favor? We are adjourned. Good night, everyone.
You didn't forget.
Never.
No.
Otherwise known as Bobby Hall.
I thought Victor
Well, that's Nibber. There's a Nibber.